Hola y saludos a Profe Adams. Today I have a very special video for you. I want to help everyone prepare for our first oral exam. This video contains information on how to sign up for the oral test, what to expect, sample questions, and at the end I'm going to give a mock oral exam so you can hear what the questions are going to sound like. First, you're going to need to sign up for an 8-minute slot. Click on the Oral Test 1 sign-up wiki in Canvas to choose from one of the times provided for test day. The interviews are back-to-back in the main room of Zoom, the same platform you use for the Centro de Conversación sessions. You'll need a working headset or earphones and microphone. You'll also need a reliable, high-speed internet connection and computer. Webcam. Your camera must be turned on to complete the test. No camera, no test. Make sure that you're appropriately dressed. Please go ahead and sign in to the oral test about 5 minutes earlier than your actual sign-up time. You'll need this time to make sure that your microphone, webcam, sound, and internet connection is working properly. If you don't sign up for a time, if you're late, if you're a no-show, or if you don't have all the required technology to take the test, it's an automatic 0. What about grading? You're going to be graded on 5 dimensions of communication: comprehension, pronunciation, fluency, vocabulary, and grammar. The Spanish-speaking rubric will show you what makes up a perfect score in each category. The oral proficiency interview will not be question and answer only. You should be willing to converse and use descriptive language. It's your time to shine and show me what you've learned. See or no answers, simply nodding or answering in incomplete sentences will not earn you a good grade. Be sure to model the same grammar I use in the question. You have a few minutes to speak as much and as well as you can in Spanish. Convince me that you deserve an A. And how should you prepare? Well, practice. That's the best advice I have. Not writing or reading the questions. Actually practice speaking out loud. Initiate conversations in Spanish with Spanish-speaking friends. Spend extra time in that Centro de Conversación for additional practice and have the questions that I'm going to ask you available. The more you practice, the more fluent you'll become and the more at ease you'll feel when we have our interview. Watch the video classes again and practice answering the questions that I pose out loud. You'll need to memorize the chapter vocabulary lists for lessons 1, 2, and 3. And be ready to use those. Vocabulary actually counts the most. If you have a friend who knows Spanish fluently, make some flashcards of the questions and have them call out the questions in random order. And you answer them and think of something else to add. If they ask you, ¿Qué hiciste ayer? And you answer, Ayer fui a la playa. Okay, that answers the question, but that doesn't really impress me. If you really wanted to impress me, you might say, Ayer fui a la playa con mis amigos y comí un sándwich en la playa después de nadar un poco. That really gives me some description. Now please don't take my answer. That's not a good response. In other words, be talkative, avoid long period of silence or and don't make me do all the talking. It really is your chance to shine. Demonstrate an intermediate level mastery of some grammatical structures. Present tense, ser and estar, imperfect, preterite, and the present progressive. The things we've covered so far. You definitely want to use abundant chapter vocabulary accurately. Don't rely on Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 vocabulary. I want to hear you talk about things in the past. You need to use preterite and imperfect. I want to know that you know what I'm saying and that you're also speaking with some sort of natural flow. Please try to have some accurate pronunciation. For example, don't say rutina diarrhea, it's rutina diaria. Or inteligente, it's inteligente. Carolina del Norte. There are some basic questions from chapters 1, 2, and 3 that everybody should be confident answering, and you're more than likely going to get some of these questions. But the interview's not limited to these questions. These are meant to help you prepare. I am not going to only ask you these questions. I want to make that clear. Please be aware that you're going to need to know the vocabulary and grammar for all the chapters in Portales 2 that we've studied thus far. Lección 1 was called Las Relaciones Personales. La Gramática was the present tense, ser versus estar, and the present progressive. Possible questions. Hola, buenos días, or buenas tardes. And hopefully you would respond back with that. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué están haciendo tus padres, tus compañeros de cuarto, tu hermano, tu mejor amigo, etcétera? Pero, ¿qué están haciendo estas personas en este momento? So you would want to use the present progressive in your answer. What are these people doing in this moment? So whoever I ask you, ¿Cómo eres? Now that's very different from ¿Cómo estás?, right? ¿Cómo eres? Does that use ser or estar? So what will your answer use? Describe a tu familia. Make sure that you're able to describe relationships in your family. If you don't want to talk about your real family, you can make up that information, but make sure that it makes logical sense. Describe una relación importante para ti. Amado, mejor amigo, un primo favorito. Again, I can definitely ask you more than those 7 questions from lesson 1. And I am not going to ask you all of those. There's definitely not enough time to do that. Lección 2. Las diversiones. La gramática. Object pronouns. Gustar and similar verbs. And reflexive verbs. Describe tu rutina diaria. Make sure that you use reflexive verbs there. Now, this question will trip people up. I'm not asking you what you did yesterday or anything. I'm asking you to describe your daily routine, and that's habitual actions. We use present tense for that. On page 65, there's a great exercise called Y tú. You'll definitely want to look at those questions. You can even try to chat with another student in the classroom and practice that exercise. Make sure that you know how to pronounce the word despierto. Despierto. A lot of people have trouble pronouncing that word. ¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre? Pastimes on page 80. ¿Qué actividades te interesan? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué actividades te aburren? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué te preocupa? ¿Por qué? Lección 3. La vida diaria. La vida diaria. Gramática. The preterite, the imperfect, and the preterite versus the imperfect. Describe algunos de tus quehaceres. Be able to list several chores in the present tense. ¿Cuántas veces a la semana cocinas, barres, laves los platos, etc.? I would just pick one of those. So, for example, ¿cuántas veces a la semana cocinas? This is a fantastic question. ¿Qué hiciste ayer? Now, I could definitely substitute ayer with lunes, anteayer, la semana pasada, el año pasado. Make sure that you answer in the preterite for this. That's very important. ¿Qué mandados hiciste ayer? ¿Qué quehaceres hiciste la semana pasada? Now, I don't have to put la semana pasada with this one or ayer with the one before it. I can put any time frame. Cuando eras niño, ¿qué hacías para ayudar en la casa? And ladies, I would say niña for you. So, cuando eras niña, ¿qué hacías para ayudar en la casa? Now, for this one, you'd want to answer in the imperfect. ¿Cómo celebraban los días festivos tú y tu familia cuando eras niño? ¿Cómo celebrabas tu cumpleaños, la Navidad, el Día de Acción de Gracias, etc.? ¿Cómo eras y qué hacías en tu tiempo libre cuando eras niño? Another good one. So finally, some tips. Avoid English at all costs. If you don't know how to say something, don't say the word in English or ask me how to say it in Spanish. Just quickly pick a word and move on, even if it's wrong. What to say when. So what to say when you have no idea what I just asked you. Perdón, no entendí la pregunta. Repita, por favor. Again. Perdón, no entendí la pregunta. Repita, por favor. What to say when I ask you, ¿estás listo? Or ¿estás lista? You say, sí, estoy muy listo. Sí, estoy muy lista. Estudié mucho para el examen oral. What to say when you forgot how to say a word. Ay, se me olvidé la palabra. Ay, se me olvidé la palabra. Use usted. Always use the usted form with me or any professor. ¿Cómo está usted? Hola, amigos. So now we're going to attempt the oral exam. In this version of the oral exam, there are no students, so it's not exactly authentic. Hola, buenas tardes. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Por qué? ¿Cuál de estas dos prefieres? ¿Tener unas citas ciegas o coquetear con una persona que no conoces? En tu opinión, ¿eres extrovertida o introvertida? Quiero saber más información de ti. ¿Cómo eres? ¿Cuál es la relación más importante que tienes en tu vida? ¿Qué está haciendo esta persona ahora mismo? Imagina que esta persona necesita dinero. ¿Se lo prestas? ¿Por qué? En tu vida, ¿te falta una rutina diaria? ¿Qué actividades te aburren? ¿Por qué? Normalmente, ¿cuántas horas duermes? ¿A qué hora te acuestas? ¿A qué hora te despiertas? ¿Tienes muchos quehaceres? ¿Qué quehaceres hiciste la semana pasada? Cuando eras niña, ¿qué hacías para ayudar en la casa? ¿Qué vas a hacer después del examen? Muchas gracias.